Hello, my name is Sujintini and I'm studying final year at Shastra University. So today I'm going to speak about the topic, the theory of production. So what is basically meant by production? Production is nothing but acquiring all the raw materials available to us and making it into a desired product according to customers' needs and satisfaction. So what are the varied objectives of production? Production objectives are not just one or two, it's varied. So what could it be? It is nothing but the right quantity of products which are produced, the quality of the products, the right product actually, and also the cost of how we are acquiring the raw materials and the price at which all the desired products are sold at the market. Now I'm going to talk about the various factors that are affecting productivity generally. So the various factors include the input, the land, the labor, the capital, the organization and the technology. Input is basically all the raw materials we are acquiring to make the desired product. Labor is the number of people who are employed in the site to make that desired product. Capital is the amount of investment. Organization and technology. The amount of technology we are using these days is impeccable, and if you're going to use a good efficient technology to make all these desired products, it is always eventually eventful and great.
Now this is production function. The formula here takes into consideration, and this function helps in selecting a least combination of inputs to produce a desired output. It refers to the relationship between the quantities of output of production and the input or factors of production. It explains the amount of output that can be produced according to the quantity of input. Basically, it helps in taking short term decisions as well as long term decisions. Along with that, it may be used to compute the least cost combination of inputs for a given output. Production function help the managers in taking long run decisions. As with increasing returns, to scale the production may be increased through a proportionate increase in the factors of production. Now these are the types of production function: Cobb-Douglas production function, the CES production function, Leontief production function. Given here is the CES production function. CES stands for constant elasticity substitution. So basically, the given formula, it shows that with technological or organizational changes, the efficiency parameter leads to a shift in the production function. Alpha is the distribution parameter or capital intensity factor coefficient concerned with the relative factor shares in the total output, and theta is the substitution parameter which determines the elasticity of substitution. Now given here is the Cobb-Douglas production function. It was first implemented in an American manufacturing industry. The mathematical form of this production is y is equal to a into k power x into L power 1 minus x, where y is output, k is capital, L is labor, and a is positive constant. Some of the assumptions made by Cobb and Douglas can be stated as: if either labor or capital vanishes, then so will production. The marginal productivity of labor is proportional to the amount of production per unit of labor. The marginal productivity of capital is proportional to the amount of production per unit of capital. Now here we have Leontief production function. Leontief production function uses fixed proportion of inputs having no substitutability between them. It is regarded as the limiting case for constant elasticity of substitution. The production function can be expressed as Q is equal to minimum of AK, BL, where A and B are constants and K and L are utilized quantity of input 1 and utilized quantity of input 2 respectively.
Now I'm going to explain about types of production function. Types of production function is basically two, and they are short run and long run. So they can be further classified into law of variable and law of return to scale. So short run is nothing but giving a relationship between a single input variable to an output function. However, long run is nothing but considering all the input relationship to an output function.
This principle states that when more and more units of the variable factor are used, holding the quantities of fixed factors constant, a point is reached beyond which the marginal product, then the average, and finally the total product will diminish. Also, this law is a function of time and it basically has three phases of law: increasing returns, diminishing returns, and negative returns.
Finally, I'm going to speak about the law of return to scale. It is nothing but it points out the behavioral change of the output when all the input values are changed in the same proportion in the presence of same technology. There are typically three phases of this law: increasing return to scale, constant return to scale, and diminishing return to scale. And finally, thank you to all of you for listening patiently.